A very warm welcome to all the dear students. I am Dr. Pooja Sareen from Amity Business School. In this video, you all will understand the concept of instructional design and the ADDIE model. You will acquire detailed knowledge on the 5-step ADDIE process for instructional design. Let us begin by understanding the concept of instructional design. Instructional design, also called as the learning experience design, is the creation of learning experience and materials in a manner that results in the acquisition and application of knowledge and skills. It is a systematic process by which instructional materials are designed, developed, and delivered. It involves the process of analyzing the learning needs and goals and the development of a delivery system to meet those needs. It not only involves development of the instructional materials and activities, but also the evaluation of all instruction and learner activities. To summarize, it is a process which consists broadly of determining the state and needs of the learner, defining the end goal of instruction, and creating an intervention to assist in the transition. Let's now summarize the key elements of instructional design. There is a genuine need for training. The learning events are well designed. The quality learning materials are developed. Wherever possible, appropriate strategies are used to implement these learning events. And the learning events are evaluated to ensure that the actual learning takes place. There are many instructional design models, but many of these are based on the ADDIE principle. The acronym ADDIE stands for 5 phases, which include analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. The model was initially developed by Florida State University to explain the processes involved in the formulation of an instructional system development program for military inter-service training that will adequately train individuals to do a particular job and which can also be applied to any inter-service curriculum development activity. The model follows an approach used by instructional designers and content developers to create instructional course materials. It has been adopted as a standard method by many instructional designers because of the flexibility involved in the model. The 5-phase model is extensively used in the learning process. The 5 phases include analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. Now let's understand each of these 5 phases in detail. In the first phase of content development is the analysis. It involves gathering information about the audience and their characteristics, the behavior outcomes expected, the learning constraints which may exist, identifying the available delivery options, the pedagogy to be chosen, and the overall goals of the project and the project timelines. The instructional designer then classifies the information to make the content more applicable and effective. Moving on to the second phase, that is the design phase. In this phase, based on the information gathered in the analysis phase, the instructional designers begin to create their project. The key elements involve documentation of the project's instructional, visual, and technical design strategy, applying the instructional strategies according to the intended behavior outcomes, creating storyboards wherever possible, designing the user interface and the user experience, and applying the visual design. This phase involves all the activities which deal with the learning objective, assessment instruments, exercises, content, subject matter analysis, media selection, and much more. The design phase should be specific and systematic. In the third phase, the instructional designers create and assemble the content assets that were created in the design phase. In this phase of development, The designers list the activities that will help the participants learn the task. They select the delivery method, review the existing materials, develop the instructional courseware, synthesize the courseware into a viable training program, and validate the instruction so as to ensure that it accomplishes all the goals and objectives. The project is reviewed and revised according to any feedback given. In the implementation phase, after the content is developed, it is implemented. This stage allows the instructional designers to test all the materials to determine if they are functional and appropriate for the intended audience. As we move on to the final phase, which is the evaluation phase, it is important to understand that this stage is extremely crucial. In this stage, it is ensured that all the materials achieve the desired goals. The evaluation stage is used to assess the quality and effectiveness of the entire instructional design process. Although it may be assumed that because E in the ADDIE acronym comes at the end, so the evaluation happens at the end of the process, but it is not so. Evaluation has always been intended to be a part of every stage. The analysis should be evaluated, the design should be evaluated, the development should be evaluated, and the implementation should also be evaluated. In fact, the process incorporates both formative and summative assessments. The formative assessment is present in each stage of the ADDIE process. The summative assessment consists of the tests designed for providing opportunity for feedback from the users. It is a very important phase for the instructional design team as it provides data used to alter and enhance the design. Hope this video helped you all to understand the concept of instructional design and the ADDIE model. Thank you everybody and happy learning to all the students.